So the last thing we talked about was the Powtoon. Now we're going to move on to assessment tools. So in this module, I worked with 4 different things to work with the assessment tools. So I worked with Kahoot, Quizalize, Google Slides, and Rubistar. So they're each used for different things when assessing. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Quizalize. This is a picture of the quiz that I made. I made it math-based, so I did the mathematics table, so I could do it as a 60-second check-in to see if the students know before we would move on to the 5 times tables. I found 2 standards that related to this. 1A is set professional learning goals to explore and apply pedagogical approaches made possible by technology and reflect on their effectiveness. So I found this to be an approach, and it gives me quick data so that I can see if they're effective or not, or see if what I'm teaching is working. The next one I found is 7C, use assessment data to guide progress and communicate with students, parents, and education stakeholders to build student self-direction. So I would use this as an assessment tool to collect data and to guide my instruction. The next one I have is Kahoot. So I do have the same standards here for Kahoot because it is used for the same thing to guide the instruction. So as you see, I based my Kahoot off of math as well. So I did this as an interest inventory. I asked questions like, do you like math? What is your favorite part of math? What is your least favorite part? I did this so that, and I said, do you remember doing multiplication tables? And so I can do this as an introduction to a multiplication lesson, so I know where the students stand with the material, what they already know, what they don't know. It is very, very easy to use. All you do is make an account, make a quiz, the layout's there. It gives you an option for the questions and answers. I am going to go back here a little bit. So as you see, the Kahoot picture has 4 different colors. Oh, sorry. Each of those colors represent an answer. So on my screen it's going to show up and it's going to say like a question, and then the answers are going to show up in colors, and the students select the color that coordinates with the answer they think. I'm actually going to pull one up for you. So the first question is going to pop up like this. It's going to say, do you like math? So the answers are shown here at the bottom: yes, no, sometimes, ew, math. So that's what the screen in the front is going to look like, and then the student screen will look like this. So say they like math, so they like the red triangle, so on their screen they're going to hit this button, and then it'll say you selected yes, and then when it's over it'll give me data and things like that for the most common answer, so I know where to go with the instruction. So that's Kahoot, and then the next few things I have is Rubistar and Google Slides. So I'm going to go over the standards first. For Rubistar, I chose create experiences for learners to make positive, socially responsible contributions and exhibit empathetic behavior online that build relationships and community. So I chose that. I know it sounds a little weird, but the Rubistar is a rubric creator. So in order to allow students to make positive socially contributions, there has to be a guideline. So that guideline is where the rubric comes in. For the Google Slides, I chose design authentic learning activities that align with content area standards and use digital tools and resources to maximize active, deep learning. I chose that because with Google Slides, multiple students can collaborate on the same presentation. They can contribute their own understandings and learnings. So I am going to show you, I did hyperlink these because that's my new favorite tool. So this is the home page, so I'm just going to log in here really quick just to show you the main screen. So this is what's going to come up. So you just go through it. Literally gives you all of these things that you can use. And so say I wanted to do a class debate. I would go down here, select a category, say I want the rebuttal. This is how I'll score the rebuttal. And this allows the students to know what is expected of them so they can put forth their best effort. For Google Slides, I linked the homepage, so as you can see here, there are some different Google Slides that I put together. These are also examples that I didn't do, but you can pick a template, you can invite people to it, so multiple people can work on it. It does work a lot like PowerPoint, so say I just hit blank, it shows up like this. I can insert new slides, just kind of do the whole kit and caboodle, but it can be worked on by multiple students, which is why I chose the Google Slides. So I think that's really cool. The next thing I want to talk about is Padlet. So this is another tool that I found to be very, very interesting. The standard I related it to is, again, design authentic learning activities that align with content area standards and use digital tools and resources to maximize active, deep learning. I chose that because with Padlet, it's like it says on the bottom, an online bulletin board for you and your students. So you can put a link on, and all of the students can go to it and put in their input, and everyone can see it. So for the use, the main use I have found for Padlet is group collaboration. It allows for the students to join in one place and communicate their ideas. So a student may have a better explanation than I do for a topic, so I did also hyperlink this one. So this is an example of a Padlet wall that we did in EDU 333. It is for the digital life simile. So people had to come up with similes and post it on here. It could give you some different ideas and things like that you could do for your own simile. So that was just interesting. That's just one example that you can use it for. It can be used in every subject, multiple different ways. So it is definitely a very good tool to use in the classroom. The last thing I want to talk about is EduCreations. So with EduCreations, it is an app on the iPad that you can use, and you can write on it, you can insert pictures, you can put text in it, and then you can record yourself doing everything. So one thing that I really think is cool is whenever you have a student doing math problems, they can record working on the math problem, and then if they get it wrong, they can re-watch what they did and see what they did wrong, where they went wrong, and how they can fix it. So the standard that I related this to is 4B, collaborate and co-learn with students to discover and use new digital resources and diagnose and troubleshoot technology issues. Excuse me. One thing I really saw with this is that it was kind of confusing to use, so I think, allowing for the students to collaborate and figure out how to use it was, it would be a very good exercise, and once you do learn how to use it, it is very, very beneficial. And one of the strengths I have is there are pre-made lessons. It is easy to record, and then it can be used for note-taking, which also kind of goes with the math. But the pre-made lessons, if a student takes notes or does the math problem, they record themselves doing it, another student can go and watch it as well. So that could be beneficial because, like I said before, a student may have a better way of presenting material that I may not be able to do. Some weaknesses are that it is hard to navigate. It's not very bright. There weren't any background options. You couldn't really change the text or anything, and it can become tedious. If you want to switch back and forth from text to writing, it is very, constant, same motions. So, I hyperlinked my simile, which is what I use EduCreations for. So I do want to share that with you, and I am going to share the whole thing just because this is my favorite project that I did in the class, and I'm very, very proud of it, so I do want to show it. So as you can see, I tried to overcome, the backgrounds by just incorporating multiple different pictures. This is my favorite here. It did cut off, so I want to show it. I had my sister draw this picture. It says pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. So this, I think this video just shows what is important to me, and I think that in the classroom I can use that with my students to really get to know them and understand who they are and what's important to them. So I think that is definitely something I will use. That is all that I have. So I am very excited to implement some of these strategies into my own classroom, and I can't wait to see where they take me. I think technology is a great thing, and I'm going to hyperlink everything. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I think I'll definitely use Screencast, and I hope you enjoyed watching my portfolio.